Hey everybody, it's Audrey. I have a page to share today for just Nick, and I am using some files. I'm actually using 3 files from the store. This is the first one I'm using. It's called Mandala Background 1, and when I looked at this pattern, it reminded me of, this is going to sound so weird, little cabbages or like little artichokes. So I decided I was going to paint them the color of like a greenish purple cabbage. I have no idea why that popped into my head. It just did. So I cut the background out here and it took forever on my machine. I had it at a speed of about 4. It really took like 40 minutes to cut out all those little bits. And then I cut one large one and a couple small ones. I don't actually end up using the one large one, so I had to make 3 different size cuts, but I just end up using the small ones and the medium sized ones. But it's a beautiful, beautiful cut, so I absolutely love it, and I'm really happy with how it came out, and I probably will use it again, but just fair warning, it does take a while to cut. So like I said, I was thinking about like the color of like a reddish, or not a reddish, but like a purple greenish cabbage, or like when you see artichokes, they have a little tint of purple and kind of green around the edges. So I'm actually going to work with some purple paint and some green paint. And I'm kind of just mixing up my purple here with a little bit of red. I'm trying to get the perfect like, I guess it's like a plum color. So I had kind of a bluish purple, and so I'm adding a little bit more red to make it a little bit more plum color. And I'm getting all my colors kind of ready on the side here because I know when I start painting, I want the colors to start blending a little bit. So I want to be able to go back and forth between my purples and my greens and kind of mix them up. So I'm just taking this green I have and I'm adding some black to it. And then I'm going to go and add a little bit of white because I think when you see this like color green, like on an artichoke or a cabbage, it's kind of like a smoky green, it has definitely a lot of gray in it. So I'm adding some black and white to make my green a lot more gray. So I'm going to add a little bit of black and a little bit of white to each. Got my colors ready to go, I think. So this is my inspiration. I did go to Pinterest and I like typed in like cabbage colors, and if you do that, you'll see these purples and greens that I'm talking about. So I'm going to paint the centers this plum color, this purplish plum, and I put my first couple of strokes on there and saw that it was really too black. I had added too much black to it and it didn't really look purple at all. Even now in retrospect, I wish it was a little bit more purpley and less, not as dark of a purple, a little bit more lighter plum, but it came out okay. So I'm just going to paint the centers here, and then I'm going to go around while they're kind of still wet and go in with some of this green. And again, the same thing happened with my first stroke of green. I realized it was way too green, so I had to blend in a lot of the kind of grayish colors. I was working on the circles that I knew were going to kind of be behind my photo at first, just so that if I wasn't happy with it, I could just go back and paint over it. So I needed a lot more grayish green here around the edges. So I'm kind of switching brushes, and I don't really care that, you know, they're not each perfect, and that some of the purples mixing with the green. You do have to be careful though, because when you mix opposite colors like that, they tend to get, well, they're not opposite colors. Well, the red inside the purple and the green, they tend to get kind of brownish and muddy looking. So you gotta be careful when you mix opposite colors. So anyway, I'm going to kind of skip forward a little bit from this part so you don't have to see me paint every single little bit. So there it is, all finished. I did go back and add a little bit of white here and there, and look how cool that looks when I pulled it up. It's too bad I couldn't save that background because that would have been a neat design as well. Okay, so for my background, I am using this it's a kind of a grayish background with a very small print on it. And this is from the Pink Paisley Memorandum Collection, which I had gone through ahead of time and pulled out some collections I thought I was going to use that actually had a little bit of purple in them. So I pulled out this Pink Paisley Memorandum, Pink Paisley Cedar Lane, And you can see those flowers. Those flowers I fussy cut out from a piece of paper in the Cedar Lane collection. I don't know why the video skipped right there, but I really thought I was going to use them. I actually fussy cut these out while my cut file was cutting, because I was kind of trying to envision in my mind what it would look like. There's the piece of paper I cut them from. I did not like the pink at all. And the yellow at first I didn't like with the background I painted. Once this paint had dried and I put it on my paper, I liked it, but I thought to myself, oh gosh, this is going to be hard to match anything with, because the colors are so dark, and the colors are not like anything I have in my stash. So I really had to find colors that complemented it. So I first picked out this green paper to kind of map my photo, kind of like a mossy green, and I thought that went really well. But then I changed my mind about using that as my photo mat, which I'll show you in a little bit here. I had placed my photo down on that green. I thought, you know what, I really want to fill in those purple circles more to make them a little bit more purple. Like I said earlier, they weren't bright purple enough for me. They were kind of a really dark purple. So I'm taking this piece of paper. This is from Pink Paisley Cedar Lane, and I'm just cutting little circles, and I'm going to back the centers of those circles on my cut files with these tiny little circles of purple paper. So I'm just going to break out my fine line glue and go around a couple of these. Again, I'm not going to show you all of these either because it takes me a while. Okay, I got all of those done. I left the ones in the center open because I knew my photo was going to be there, and I glued that baby down. So once I had the green photo mat, I thought, you know what, maybe I will bring something else in green. I was looking for some green leaves, and I thought, well, why don't I just cut them? So this is another cut file from the Just Next Door. The leaves are from she has lots of different leaf cut files, and this is leaves 3. And the piece of paper that I cut them from that Pink Paisley collection is kind of like an ombre finish. So there are lighter leaves and darker leaves, which I really loved. So I just kind of folded the leaves in half to give them a little bit more texture. But once I added the leaves on there, I thought, you know what, that's too much green I have, so let me add another color to the background. And I add in this very light blue. Tried this kind of dark teal blue. I do add in a couple bits of that, but not too much. I didn't really like that a ton, but I did need something that had a little bit of contrast, so I do add a little bit of teal blue. Now I'm liking the yellow leaf. Earlier, you know, I had the yellow and the pink together, and I didn't like them together, but the yellow leaf by itself with the green and the purple, that worked much better for me than the yellow with the leaf, or the yellow with the pink, rather. These little bits I'm playing with are from the Pink Paisley Cedar Lane die cut pack, and some washi tape stickers. And again, I'm trying to bring in a little bit more purple, and now I'm trying to find some more places to add in this yellow as an accent color. This is such a strange color combination. I have to admit it, it's so strange. It was a little difficult at first, but gosh, I love doing things like that that are just different and not the same old colors, and something different for a change. And by the way, you noticed I printed my photo in black and white. First of all, I printed it in black and white because my son's wearing like an orange vest. My daughter has like a rainbow hat on. I'm wearing like a moss green vest. My husband's wearing navy blue. It was just so many colors. So I'm like, this photo has to be in black and white. This is just a couple weeks ago. We went apple picking together, and we just had a really nice fall day, and we had a really great time, and the kids were actually good. Sometimes we go places and the kids aren't good. And you know, I don't know, we just had a really nice day, and it was really fun, and we enjoyed each other's company, so I was very thankful for that. I'm fussy cutting out some flowers from another pattern paper in the Cedar Lane collection, and just these are I cut out like a light blue one and a yellow one, because now I'm trying to kind of create this visual triangle with the yellows and the light blue, and a few little purple bits as well. These wood veneer like circles, I was kind of moving some stuff by my feet, some stuff that I had piled up that I hadn't put away yet, and they fell out of a package, and I was looking at the colors, and I thought, oh, a couple of these would be pretty on here. So I took a couple of those out, and only 2 of them really matched. So in a little while I'll show you, I went through my wood veneer stash, and I found just another plain wood veneer circle, and I added a little bit of purple gelatos to it to create a little purple element for that top single flower there. So as you can see, as usual, I haven't really glued anything down. The only thing I've glued down are, actually, have I even glued down my background yet? My cut file? I'm not sure that I have even done that yet. I think I may have, because, no, actually I haven't. I can see now it's hanging off the edge. I haven't even glued that down yet. Okay, so I went and stitched over my leaves. I just stitched a single line through each leaf with kind of some moss green thread. And I also splattered on my background, and I forgot to hit record when I started splattering my paint, so I just finished it, and then I realized I hadn't hit record. But so I did add some paint splatters in kind of a moss green. Actually, the color is called leaf green. It's there in the top of my screen, and that is a Studio Calico Mr. Huey's in leaf green. One of my favorite greens to use on pages. So the rest here is just me going through and gluing stuff down exactly where I had it. Some of the things I just glue flat to the page. A few things I use pop dots on, and I'm adjusting a few things here very slightly, but not too much. That little, maybe you can see it now on the top single flower there. There's that little circle veneer piece with a little bit of purple on it that I colored in with gelatos. Okay, the third file I used was from the file called Many Thanks, and it's just a couple of phrases that say grateful and thankful, and I liked this one that said be thankful, and I cut that out of some dark wood grain paper, and that will pretty much do it. And a little gold foil arrow. I do have a couple little gold foiled accents and glittery accents, and just some journaling, and that's about it. And there's the finished page. I have lots of close-ups for this one just because I really wanted to show all the painting close-up and the different cuts and the different cut files that I use and all the little bits that I put on the page. So thanks so much for stopping by. Go check out the Just Knix store and the Black Friday sale going on too. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.